Welcome to Bad Idea Metals. I'm Anthony, and today we're going to look into these two machines. I've got a whole stack out in the weather. They've been in the weather for years. These machines are from the 80s, and I don't know if you can tell, step out of the light, but this is what looks to be a Model 30 286. And if we look at this guy over here, the label's really hard to read, but it's also a 286. So let's go ahead. We'll do these one at a time. They are a little muddy, so I've put down some cardboard to help protect the table. Let's go ahead and grab our tools and start looking into these. Well, let's take a look around the back here. What do we have? We've got what looks like several serial, I can't remember what that's called. It's not a PS2, is it? It does look like PS2 connectors. The keyboard and mouse used to fit in a larger plug, but those look like PS2 connectors for the keyboard and mouse, and what looks like a VGA. So, and then on the other unit down here, again, we've got a few serial and what looks like another VGA. I'm not seeing right off which port would be for our keyboard and mouse, but it would have connected on there somewhere. So I do not know all the specs on these old machines, but we're going to definitely figure out what's on the inside. I don't see anything on the front for that guy other than the floppy drive. Oh no, there's your PS2. So your keyboard and mouse are right up here on the front. And they would have been color coded. One would have been purple or bluish and the other would have been green. Those colors are gone. They probably would have been on the plastic cover, which has long since weathered away over here. So there's your keyboard and mouse. Floppy, both of them have a floppy, and power over here. Power for this guy is right here. Huh? Oh, that one's open. Well, that should make things easier. Okay. Still don't have the tools. Go grab them and let's see what's inside. These screws are indeed loose. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, nice. Standard steel body. This is dirty and messy, so I'm going to hurry and take that outside. I'm not going to be very careful with these. I'm not going to be very gentle. My intention is to do some gold refining on what I can, and the metals that I'm not going to refine, I do plan on selling. So I'm not going to be very careful. As you can see, animals lived in here. There's dirt, there's dust, there's water damage, rust everywhere. So first item of business, I like to see the fingers on these vintage cards. Yeah, this one's not too bad. Definitely bigger than RAM, and hopefully they're thicker than our standard video cards. Down inside, they are also gold-plated pins for your risers here, for your expansion cards. But that right there, it's a pretty standard just expansion card. Set that off to the side. There's the RAM. I don't see a formal CPU. Maybe one of these on board is the CPU. I'll have to do some research on that. But let's go ahead and dig out the RAM. Yeah, these are the old tin connectors. They're not going to be gold plated. Bring you in on these. They've got a nice silver color. But these chips, they can have gold in them. They usually do. The little bond wires between a die in the middle and these legs. So we'll get into processing this RAM another day. Actually, there's some gold pins down here. The receivers are actually pretty cool. How thickly plated they seem to be. So we got 4 sticks of RAM. Let's take this ceramic processor out of here. It's a dual-sided ceramic, so we can crack these open. Some of them will have aluminum pins. Some of them will have gold. I don't mean pins. I apologize. Let me say that again. Some of them will have aluminum bond wire between the die in the middle and each one of these pins. And so we can crack this open and see. And I think the other processor's underneath here somewhere. So let me grab those out and crack them open. All right, so I cracked one of them open. This one's the one that was underneath. You can see right here, there's a die in the middle. And you're not gonna be able to tell, but there's little bond wires that go between that die and the outer edge where the pins were. And it's not gold. They are so thin. It's like spider silk or thinner. I mean, it's really thin stuff. Let's see if I can get any closer so you can see it. I really can't before I lose focus here. But anyway, so you can't really tell. Maybe you can, maybe I'll be able to zoom in, but in the edit, if I can't, I apologize. But there's little aluminum bond wires. They are not gold, but there can be gold down inside the pit there, down inside where the die sits. So we'll save these and we'll process them. Again, there were 2 of them in here. There's that NEC one, but there's that Intel one that was hiding underneath. We'll save those. Let's go ahead and move our RAM. What else is interesting in here? Right there, what is that? That's our 8808. There is gold on the outside and you can see gold on the inside. So this is gonna be a high valued chip right here. That's really cool. So let's see if we can get underneath this one and pop it out. Trying to be very careful not to crack the ceramic. And I cracked it anyway. But I was gonna go outside and break it open anyway. But there. I was trying not to make it lose any potential bond wire. But let's go ahead and take a closer look in there. So that's pretty cool. It's not solid gold necessarily, but there's a significant amount of gold plating. And the chip cover that popped off over here, that is also potentially some gold plating on it. Let's see what it has underneath. Yeah, that's gold too. So that's not bad. It's not a ton of gold, but there you go. That was on here. Okay, let's keep moving. Oh, I guess while I'm here with the camera in hand, there's our RAM fittings. There's the pins. They're not solid gold, but they're gold plated. So that's pretty cool. So fun stuff. Really, there isn't a whole lot more to the board at this point. I'm gonna have to take the board off and then get all these chips to let go. So, okay, let's move on to what's below this one. All right, so for this one, the screws are all rusted up on the side, so we're gonna try our best to get them off without having to drill. Well, that was nice. That did come off. So I've got 3 screws that won't let go. Let's see if I can force them to pop off. Sometimes the metal is soft enough. Or the rust is bad enough. Just looking in here, I got 4 wasps' nests. Well, that one's munched. Oh well. Do we have hiding in here? Oh yeah, look at those. Those are some good fingers. Oh, let's take this ribbon off. Some nice pins in there, but those fingers, man, that's excellent. Love that. Some really good fingers. We got 4 expansions and each one's got gold plating. That's pretty cool. So we'll set that carefully in there too. What do we have today? Well, we've got several ceramic. You can see the die down in there. Let's see if we can pop some of these off. We have more of these. This one's an Intel as well. Can't quite tell if those are gold bond wires or not. They're extremely thin, connecting that silica die that's in the middle there through that little glass window to the pins. So they may be aluminum, they may be gold. I'm optimistic, but we can find out more. All right, let's see if we can get that out without damaging the screwdriver. Nice. I don't know what's in here. PVGA 1A. Interesting stuff. I believe it's free. There we go. Shake out anything else that might fall out of this. NEC Corp. So the floppy drive's an NEC. That's funny. But yeah, look at that. That's what I was after. Those nice thick fingers. I did a video over the summer where I did a whole bunch of fingers just like these, and I ended up getting 10 grams of refined near 9, 3/9 fine. I still have to refine that button, but 10 grams from fingers like these. These guys are fun. I'm not gonna get 10 grams off of this guy. Well, there you go. One more card to add with all those fingers. From what it looks like, that's a pretty standard floppy drive. So I'm not gonna mess with the floppy drive anymore. We'll put it off to the side. And there's nothing else inside there. And then the last thing, other than pulling the motherboard off, the last thing is this power supply. It's a pretty standard looking power supply. Just looking through here, you see a bunch of copper. You got your inductor coils. You got some really corroded and badly damaged capacitors. I see an aluminum heatsink, another transformer. Oh, it's a pretty standard power supply from what I can tell. And then a case fan. What is this? Velcro. This looks like it's a redundant battery. Huh, it's a lithium battery. That's pretty silly. Caution, fire and burn hazard. Do not recharge, open, or expose to heat above 212 degrees or 100 degrees Celsius. Well, there you go. This is a lithium battery. Back in whatever year this is, 1980. Let's see if there's a date on here for us. Nope, no date. There's a dead honeybee in here though. Huh. Well, from the 80s. But regardless, I can look it up. Whatever the PowerMate 286 Plus was. Having the 286 on there, I thought for sure I was going to find a 286 inside, and there probably is one. I just don't know how to recognize it. No, there it is. There's our CPU. That right there is our 286. Let's get a little water. Hopefully that won't wipe off the numbers. All right, the numbers are coming back now that it's not wet. Take a look at that. There it is. The 286, 12 megahertz from Intel. It's an 8285. So that's a 1982 chip, but a 1985 edition, I think is what it is. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But there it is. There's our 286. It's not going to have a whole lot of gold on it. We can pop that out, but it's not going to have a whole lot on it. So let's try to get this out carefully. I guess that was carefully. But here you go. There's our 286. So here's our CPU. Pretty simple little guy. Man, there's not very many legs on this. while I have you in hand, let me give you a quick tour around the inside. Got a whole bunch of other things. Not exactly sure what half of this is. And some of it's worn off and you can't see. So anyway, there is the motherboard to this PowerMate 286 Plus. And I got the CPU in hand. Not too much excitement in some of these older machines. Yeah, the gold value can be higher if you get lucky with some of these. I'm not exactly sure what to tell you about these guys. It does look like they are aluminum bond wires on the inside. It's hard to tell. Oh, there you go. Let's see if I can get in close enough to see. No, can't tell. But those are pretty cool. I can see the bond wires, but with everything being so small, they're just little lines, little traces. So you can kind of see them. On the left and right side right there, you can kind of see them. Really difficult to see. But they're just off the silicone die. You can barely see them at the tip of my finger there. Those are the bond wires that I'm talking about. And they come out that side as well, and they connect those pins to the silicone die, the silicate. Probably all saying it wrong anyway. But yeah, fun stuff. You got some jumpers, by the way. I did see those. You can kind of see that the pins are gold pins. Again, that's gold plated, not solid gold. I got a few fun things that I've pulled out from both of those machines. Several risers for expansion cards, several chips. I got more mess to clean up. I'll get to that. I'll get the power supplies out here, motherboards out. But that's stuff I'm gonna do behind the scenes. Someday I'll eventually have all the chips off and I'll collect them all and we'll process them for what's inside. Okay, well, thanks for watching. This is supposed to be a shorter video today. We've been isolating. We've got a few kids that have unfortunately picked up a sickness, and so we're staying home. And the weather's still really cold outside. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Good night.